What's up, Bama Insider Nation? Trey Kennedy back for the next in our two biggest storyline series where we highlight the two biggest questions around all of Alabama football's position groups. Today we're going to be addressing the tight end room and the wide receiver group. Before we get into this video, you guys know what to do. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and hit the super thanks for a personal way to thank us. We appreciate all of your support. The two big questions we're going to be addressing in today's video: will Jameson Williams provide the juice that Alabama needs in this wide receiver room in 2021? And the second question, will Jabaal Billingsley be college football's next big-time tight end? Let's start with Jameson Williams, the transfer from Ohio State University, and begin to answer this question where we have to ask another one. What does Jameson Williams have in his tool bag? Upon his transfer to Tuscaloosa, we knew Jameson Williams was going to provide a lot of speed and potentially be the deep route guy on this offense. But why did he decide to transfer? He was quoted as saying, "To me, things were just unclear. I wasn't certain of my role in the offense. The receiver room got crowded. I just decided I needed a fresh start. I decided to enter the portal." We knew he could absolutely fly, but we didn't know how he'd fit into the offense, or if he'd even get that much playing time. Now, just a week away from fall practice, Williams gets set for his first season at Alabama and is looking like a sneaky option for Alabama's young receiving core. He had some veteran experience, and I project Williams to be the primary deep route receiver on this offense. I think he has a chance to really take some people by surprise, and I think at the very least he will provide an excellent decoy option in that role for John Mechie, who looks to return after injury this offseason as wide receiver 1 for the Crimson Tide. On to our second question: will Jabaal Billingsley be college football's next big tight end? This is a fun question to talk about because the tight end role is changing every day in college football. We're seeing a more athletic tight end. Tight ends getting more passes and scoring more touchdowns. Kyle Pitts is obviously the first example you think of, and I like to compare Jabaal Billingsley to Kyle Pitts. Travis Kelce really started this in the NFL, but at the college level, Pitts changed the game last year. Billingsley is primed for a monster after he came onto the scene in 2020 as well. In that season, he totaled 18 catches for 287 yards and 14 of those receptions going for a first down or a touchdown, and he also scored a touchdown in the semifinal game against Notre Dame. This year, I think he has an elevated role, and we really see the tight end role in general advance on this Alabama team. They have a new coach in Drew Savoda, who's had success everywhere he's been, and will look to use multiple tight ends, Jabaal Billingsley, supplementing him with Cameron Latu, who scored a touchdown in that A-Day game. I think we see Latu in certain situations, and he is more of your traditional tight end, but Jabaal Billingsley is certainly the primary tight end on this team, and will have a chance to be one of the best tight ends in America. He is the definition of a modern tight end. He's slimmer, he has a more athletic build, he has speed, he can run out of the slot, and he can block as well. He has great size. Like I said, Pitt set the standard last season, but I don't think that was a flash in the pan. I think Jabaal Billingsley has a chance to be the next in line of these modern primetime tight ends. Savoda was hired on March 31st of this year, and in the spring it was evident the tight ends on this team were going to have a heavy workload. After this year's A-Day game, Nick Saban was asked of what he thinks of Jabaal Billingsley and the potential of this tight end room as a whole.
Jaleel is a very talented player who can make plays. So to use those guys relative to what they can do and how they can help us offensively, I think is, what we always want to try to do. Assess what players that we have and what can we do to help those players be most successful in terms of how we feature them. We've always, tried to do that on offense.
It's going to be a very interesting year. As far as tight ends go and receivers at Alabama, it's a very young core, but I think Jameson Williams under the direction of Bill O'Brien, and Holloman Wiggins, and Jabaal Billingsley, who also inherits former NFL head coach Bill O'Brien and Drew Savoda, will all come together to replenish an offense that obviously lost a lot of pieces. But I love the opportunity for guys like Jabaal Billingsley and Jameson Williams. I think as a whole, this offense will go airborne quite a bit. I think we see a good bit of checkdowns, gauging those tight ends at the very least. Another key point for this Alabama offense that we will address in our next video is the offensive line. But until then, go to BamaInsider.com and check out the rest of the YouTube page for videos on Drew Savoda, Jameson Williams, Jabaal Billingsley, Cameron Latu, and the rest of this Alabama Crimson Tide team. Hit the like button, give us a super thanks, and subscribe to the channel. For BamaInsider.com, my name is Trey Kennedy. This has been part 3 of the two biggest storyline series.